now. Now it is recording.
Cool. Thank you.
I start, teacher? Yes?
You continue, yes.
Okay. So, pass the other slide, please. Emily. So, my part is divided in stories, in variability, and bilingual lexicon. So, what it says about the story, and it says that it's about how the language is stored, and according to the reading, how it receives like a little attention, because teachers speak about teachers speak to the learners about how acquiring productive vocabulary, but they tend to not discuss what is being acquired or how it is acquired. Yes, it is. I think that for the reason they made that research about that, because teachers tend to not to discuss what is being acquired or how it is the vocabulary acquired. So, and the second part is about variability, and it is about two possible like answers about how L2 learners store the words as part of our vocabulary. Yes, as part of our oral vocabulary. And the first possible answer is that when we learn a single word, uh, think that is about a word but in isolation. Yes, and we start to store that in our mind. The user of the language used like a roast, and I understood that when we acquired the word in isolation, we start like doing like a representation about the word. Yes, but the word just in isolation. And the second possible answer about how we store the language is about that we store the words uh, individually, but also we divided them like in groups. Yes, like they are like yes, in groups. Like we have I don't know, like 10 words, and all the 10 words are related, all of them just in isolation, or divided them, and it's like the second option. I am right, teacher, or not? I understood that.
Something.
Yeah, and the all words in the second option, that all the words include like a pattern. Yes, like not all of the words are include a pattern, and they are related, each of them, and all of them are related. Yes, and that's the second option about that.
So, two possible explanations of how we store vocabulary. One, like words in isolation. The second one, words in chunks.
In chunks.
Okay.
That's the part about variability, how we can, or L2 learners store the words that we used when that we learn, and that when we use. Also, it says that the chunks, uh, we take the chunks of the words like an independent words, like it were like independent words. But I don't know. I don't understand if they are against of that or not, because I
Against
think
what?
that against that we use the chunks like an independent words.
I'm not so sure I understand.
Yes, it says like about the in language users, they consider that a chunk in linguistic is a linguistic unit.
Yes.
But they say that we as a learner of the L2 in an advanced level, we continue to the chunk like it were an independent word. Yes.
Yeah, now what they have discovered is that chunking, that is not learning the word in isolation, but learning it inside a group. Like, for example, an expression. Like, let me see. The plunge. Plunge literally is like, to plunge is sumergirse en el mar, por ejemplo, plunge. But the expression take the plunge. And then, have you taken the plunge to do this? Did you take the plunge to get married? So what made you finally take the plunge, and so on? Learning this expression within, like plunge, within the expression take the plunge, is seems to be a better explanation of how language lexicon is stored. And this continues to be evident not just in an acquisition stage, in an early acquisition stage, but even in advanced learners. And it seems like advanced learners, well, they have developed cumulative chunks, like they, what seems to be different between a novel learner and an advanced learner is that.
Okay. And the last part about storage is about bilingual lexicon. So it says that assuming that a bilingual sorry, person has two bilingual person has two systems of vocabulary, how they are distributed, because it seems that we speak two languages, we speak Spanish and we speak English, and how we store the vocabulary in Spanish and how we store the vocabulary in English. So it says that maybe we have separated stores, or we have just one single store. And the last option is the most probably, that we have just one single store. And in that store, we start all the vocabulary that we have. It doesn't matter if it is in English or it is in Spanish. Yes. But why they say that the single that we have one single store? The first one is that, for example, and in English and in Spanish bilingual, in the case of the word animal, yes, we recognize the word animal and animal. So the word animal is like a trigger that gives access to the identical word in Spanish or in English as well. So for that reason, they say that just we have one store, and we start all the vocabulary just in one. Not we don't have to divide them. It is how we get the vocabulary and store the vocabulary. This is the first option. I mean, like the support that we just have one start. And the second, it is called tip of the tongue state. And it is an state that sometimes we don't, I mean, we speak Spanish, but sometimes we forget the words in Spanish. And we used the words in English. For example, in the case, I don't know, I know what is trigger, but I don't know what it means I know what it means in Spanish, but I don't remember what it means in this moment. You know what I mean? Yes, that sometimes we forget
it happens
the word.
To me a lot with the word
Yeah.
host. I remember the word in English, but Wesped, but the word Wesped doesn't come as easily as host. Same with the word trigger, which we use as gatillo.
Gatillo, yes, yeah. I relate the trigger with a gun or something like that, and for that reason, I remember that in Spanish. But if you didn't say to me that it's a gatillo, I didn't was